dope unit. Try to make another heroin video since the first one got lost.
You know, the heroin took me to a dark place. You know, I overdosed on heroin 13 times, twice in one day once, and that still was not enough for me to stop. You know, all my times in the penitentiary were drug related one way or another. I just didn't think that I was going to do anything but die a junkie, you know, and SWAT raided my house, and I said, you know, I've done 6 grams of heroin already today, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and but my tolerance was so high, and they're like, why are you telling us that? And I'm like, because I'm going to need medical attention once you put me in jail. I said that, and then I just quit talking, and it was like this weight was just lifted off my shoulders. All of a sudden, I was like relieved. I'm like, it's over now. The chaos stops.
I worked inside the prison system for 30 years, so I was well aware of people recidivating and coming back.
Embark was considering taking a couple people from North Central if they would be willing to transfer over. And that was right about the time in my sentence that I'm thinking, well, what's my end game? What happens when I leave? Because that was always the problem every other time when I leave, you know, no employment, no place to go except, you know, sleeping on someone's couch somewhere.
And the idea is about 20 or so men and about 20 or so women from the community come once a month, get to know the men and women inside. So when they're a couple months prior to release, we say to our participant, who of all these volunteers have you developed a heart connection with? So they have a voice in selecting their mentors. So then we make the match, and that mentor stays with them for at least a year as they transition. It's powerful in a prison that for them to feel totally accepted and valued, and so it just makes the journey just that much more hopeful for them.
When I first came out, I mean, even with the year-plus relationship development with them inside, there was still that little bit of skepticism in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, okay, now here's where the rubber meets the road. And they showed up. I mean, when I get to the Embark house and they're showing up with this huge clothes basket full of toiletries and towels and sheets and like my own pillow and fresh socks, and you know, that started to, you know, and I go and I look in the fridge, and the fridge is full of food, and everybody's there to welcome me. You know, that outpouring of support and love is it's humbling, but it's also very encouraging. Not only did they help me out with employment and housing, but they walked with me through some pretty tough stuff.
You know, the opportunity to play a small role in that, to encourage you, man, to set the bar for you, to pave the way for you, is such a reward for me.
He's very, very committed to recovery. He also joined a church and became active in his church. So he was doing all the things that we hope people do. He did. And then the other thing, the characteristics about Paul that I admired and respect was that he would invite others to come to recovery meetings. He would go pick them up. He always knew what the need was, and then you could count on him to be there. So when the job came open, he's the first person I thought about.
It's almost unbelievable for me still. But the opportunity to get paid, to go in and encourage men to come out and live successful is something I'm very passionate about. I mean, I was doing it with no pay and still doing my job, but to be able to do it as my full-time job is pretty awesome. I'm super excited. You know, our record is far better than the national record, and I just hope that I can play a role in keeping that record.